will get green.
I'm innocent.
And that's what I'm saying. That the pressure Johnnie and his people, the pressure they can give you, don't get green hair, you go get. So your best bet is not to have hair.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Johnnie's Bite. It's Friday. Juma Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters as they go pray for Ghana. On Sunday, the Christians do. So on Friday, when you get opportunity, pray for Ghana. Today is Green Ghana Day. We've done the countdown, all the conversations, and trying to get people. I mean, this year, the enthusiasm is not as heavy as it was last year. But if you get a chance to plant a tree, please plant a tree. If you have the avenue and you have seen, you're going to pick up a seedling, whatever it is, plant a tree and endeavor to care for the tree that you plant. Because beyond the public show of planting trees, there must also be the conscious, deliberate, determined effort to make sure that the tree grows, provides shade. You may not enjoy the shade of the tree you plant today, but those in future, the generations behind you, will get a chance to benefit from it. So plant a tree by all means. Now, Parliament is even not sitting today because parliamentarians will be planting trees. And Honorable Esiama, who is the MP for Mena, who was in the seat at the time, announced this. So Friday, today, Parliament will not sit. They will be planting trees. The first question I want to ask, the tree the President planted, what the Vice President planted, what the Speaker planted, what the Chief Justice planted, what the parliamentarians planted, what the ministers planted, the trees they planted last year, which we were told cost us 12 million. And he pulled that screenshot, 12 million Ghana cedis. 12 million Ghana cedis of our money was used to plant trees in 2021 alone. What has become of those trees? Because it is not enough to come and tell us that, oh, yeah, the trees are there and we planted the trees and Green Ghana Day and da. Because 12 million Ghana cedis is not anybody's pocket money. It's our money. Our money, wana money, it's our money. And 12 million Ghana cedis could have provided decks, could have fed the children who today, because of school feeding, 97 pesos are not being fed. All of those ones provide water, rural electrification, 12 million Ghana cedis. That's how much we spend to plant trees. But you know an interesting thing? While we spend 12 million to plant 5 million trees, there's also a conversation about what the projection was. Then you look for it. The projection is, for the 20 million trees, we said we're going to spend 9.6 million to plant 20 million trees. So it says government allocates 9.6 million to Green Ghana Project to 16 GN December 16. The government has budgeted 9.6 million for the Green Ghana Project next year to plant 20 million trees nationwide. So yes, we spent 12 million to plant 5 million trees, or if you like 7 million trees. Now we are budgeting 9.6 million to plant 20 million trees. Obviously, that the math doesn't add up. So which means we are going to spend more of the taxpayers' money. Plant trees, plant trees, plant trees. The real problem is that we have to revoke EI 144, which declassifies Achimota Forest as a forest. Because you cannot be planting trees and cutting trees. Think about the future children, Stone Boys and Girls. Save existing forests. Achimota Forest, Atiwa Forest. We are not greening. We are busy grabbing and building. Bring the sound out a bit. So yes, plant trees, plant. By all means, when you get the trees, plant them. But I say the bigger conversation beyond, I have, all the property that St. John had, and anybody who had the land in Achimota Forest has been declared void, whatever it is, the Ramsar site. Show us commitment. And you see, at the heart of this tree planting thing, because yes, it's good to tell us that, oh, we have lost 80% of our forest cover, and we've been saying it over and over and over again. And there's a 2018 story that talks about the fact that we're moving 60% faster in depleting our forest cover. 60%, we knew about this, we know about it. So yes, we pick the statistics, we get very emotive, and we use it, and we try to blackmail the people into agreeing that we have to plant trees. Since we knew about planting of these trees and the fact that our forest cover was being depleted, what has been the bigger picture? We set up an interministerial committee on Galamsey. No, we did. Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. We set up 10 ministers. Minister for Defense Dominic Nitiwu was there. Minister for Interior Ambrose Derry was there. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources at the time, it was not John Peter Mewu. Who was his? No, it was John Peter Mewu, right? John Peter Mewu was there. Minister for National Security was part. Minister for Information Kojo Ponkruma was there. Minister for Water. We commissioned it. Interministerial Committee. Then this ministerial committee came to tell us, because it was on the website of the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, led by Professor Kwabena Fempobwati, who himself was it. He was the chairman of the interministerial committee. We set up this committee. We know the issues that happen with this committee, because at the heart of tree planting is Galamsey. You cannot say you are planting trees and people will be cutting trees to mine. People are cutting trees to develop estates. People are cutting trees to do all manner of things, and yet we keep pumping and spending money. So we set up an interministerial committee, 10 ministries put together. We commissioned it, big event. We spent state money on it. We will like show. We like all the show. We package and present. That's what we do. When we had finished this job, interministerial committee, Operation Galam Stop, Operation Vanguard, Operation 1-1, where we saw people who were put together, the police, the military, immigration, they were put together. We saw people in uniform paid with our taxpayers' money. They were the very ones on the ground doing the job. Senior officers were mentioned. Nothing has happened to them. So yes, we can plant trees, but the hypocrisy that we have, where we know those who are involved in Galamsey. After we finished the interministerial committee, the President Akufo-Addo saw wisdom. When he got a second chance to be president in 2021, he abolished the ministerial committee that had told us that we had done 95% of the work for Galamsey. That information was on the website of the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. It has been pulled down shamefully. Today we are here. When the new ministers came on, Mr. Samuel Abujinapo, he's there with Kojo Ponkruma, my senior colleague, and also Madam Cecilia Dapa and some. And you know, they went on the Western and Central Regional tour. You know how it is like when a minister moves, the crowd they go with and the expenses that they comes with. So they went to Central Region, Kwabena Ochiridaku joined them. Then they went to Western Region. Then they went to the Central Region as well. All the ministers and you know the people, you know, Minister Bo, Minister Bo, Minister Bo, Minister Bo. Then they followed them. Now, Honorable Cecilia Dapa, who is a Minister for Water Resources and Sanitation, and then also Honorable Kojo Ponkruma, who is a Minister for Information, were part of the 10 ministers who were put together in the Interministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining. Honorable Samuel Abujinapo, who is MP for Damangona, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, was then a Deputy Chief of Staff. So while these two ministers knew and were part of all our efforts towards Galamsey and fighting against Galamsey, Mr. Samuel Abujinapo was a Deputy Chief of Staff. What it meant is that if they brought a report to the president, he would have seen it. A Chief of Staff is a big position. In fact, Chief of Staff is supposed to be managing all our ministries. They're supposed to be supervising them. They're like a boys prefect or girls prefect. So Mr. Abujinapo cannot say that he did not know or perhaps did not have a whim of understanding of what was happening with the interministerial committee. When we had finished all of these committee meetings and everything else, and the president had found wisdom that they had failed, so he had dissolved the committee. The three of them, I didn't bring the picture. The three of them set up their own three-man committee, and they said they were going around to understand the extent of the damage that Galamsey had brought on to us, because Ghana Water Company had told us that more than 40% of the water we collect is silted. So that is why your water is expensive. That's why their pumps get spoiled. So these same people who had told us that they were solving the problem are the very same people inspecting the problem that they have supervised. Okumchola is a miracle. It is a miracle that you supervise the problem. You tell us that you have solved the problem. Then when you are giving another nod, you come and say you want to understand the problem. I say, be steady. Galamsey is threatening our water supply. Ghana Water Company has said it over and over. Sometimes Talimate sounds like a broken record. So plant trees. It's good, plant trees. Then he showed me the piece of art where the trees kept voting for the axe. I'll read that quote to fellow Ghanaians very, very soon. Now it says the forest was shrinking, which is our case now. But the trees kept voting for the axe. For the axe was clever and convinced the trees that because his handle was made of wood, he was one of them. It's a Turkish proverb. I take it again. The forest was shrinking, like Ghana is doing now. But the trees kept voting for the axe because the axe was clever and convinced the trees that because his handle was made of wood, he was one of them. And that's where we are. Now, Honorable Hajia Alima Mahama, who was our minister for local government and rural development, she's now an ambassador, thanks to President Akufo-Addo. She told us, and in fact, she put together all the MMDCs in this country and told her that she knew which one of them or those of them among them who were engaged in Galamsey. I didn't say it for her. She called all MMDC and put them in a room. And I'm saying the basis of this my argument is that you cannot do Galamsey or engage in Galamsey without first cutting down a tree. Now, even when you are done cutting down the tree, you have done digging, it messes up the whole. That's why there's reclamation. She called all the MMDCs into a meeting and told them, I know those of you engaged in Galamsey. The logical thing I would have thought is that if you know those who are engaged in Galamsey, single them out and deal with them. Since she announced to us, and she has had another minister take over, Honorable Dan Kokubocho, my uncle, which single DC or MC in this country has been held accountable for engaging in Galamsey? Because for a minister to say, I know those of you who are engaged in Galamsey, it means that she had the information, credible information. So why has that information not been acted upon? And why is it that each time we go to Galamsey site, we pick the mob rower who have been sent by the big people who are able to afford hiring the excavators or afford buying the excavators and paying the people with raw cash. We arrest them and leave the people who have the what do you call it, the excavators. We leave the foreigners, we leave the people who are what do you call it, can afford the excavators. Because the truth of the matter is this. The truth of the matter is this. There is no way a man who comes to you to work for 80 Ghana cedis said they can afford the services of an excavator. There's no way. And there's no way you can have an excavator that has a chassis number that is imported into this country, that is cleared at the port, drive all the way from the port in the city into the bush without the security agencies knowing about it. Country broke, country no broke, we all day inside. When you arrest the excavators, why don't you check for the chassis number, connect it to DVLA and ask them, or the port, and ask them who brought in this excavator and deal with them. Deal with the problem from the top. You arrest a few people, parade them, and then you let the real thieves get away. So yes, we can plant all the trees we can, spend all the money. We will come back to square one. How is it that today we are planting trees, spending millions of money to plant trees? In fact, the estimate we have done 9.6 million is not enough. Per what I've showed you that we spent 12 million to plant 5 million trees in 2021. So, and 9.6 to plant 20 million trees is simply not logical. So how is it that we're spending monies to plant trees, and at the end we are doing everything else that will not make the trees grow, that will not make the trees, expand? But there's a wise king in Ghana called Otumfuo. Then he will end with that one. Play Otumfuo's video for us. And I thought that after that video, when Otumfuo and we had actually tried to gazump Otumfuo to actually tell the king what to say, as if the king has no mind of his own. Do you know what it means to be a king or a chief in this country? You actually taking through the rudimental training. There are elders who guide you. That's why they have a jasihin. They guide you through it. They actually school you for many years before you are given the throne or the skin. Then from nowhere we decide that because we have political power, we go to the king and tell the king, stick to the script we have written for you. Hey, play the video.
As I'm making time, Master Mamebekan, before I read my speech, I can't say and regional minister name Meba Dina Pomba and almost say and Eba Choya can't be a worker and so my person Mekana. And this I know Mzibia Mekas and Fufrobia Air Day Kakra.
They tried to force Otumfuo to say what they wanted him to say, but the king had a mind of his own. Because the truth is the truth. The truth is the reality. The truth is bitter. The truth must be said without fear or favor. So go out and plant trees. But we must see the evidence of the trees you are planting. I have put a challenge to the ministry. Don't give us statistics on paper. Show us the trees on the ground, because you didn't plant the trees on paper. And I end with this one. Ebenezer, that's far the Lord has brought us. See, Ebenezer. Plant more trees, but we have cut trees. Ebenezer, that's how far the Lord has brought us. So plant trees, but remember that while you are planting trees, Ebenezer, we can use the statistics, but the trees are planted on the ground. Good morning.
Kind of grandma, you better die, why be a conference here. Say, Mitia, oh my bay, Galamsade. So, but was in an unknown chance as in a mile. So, what can we anymore? So, no more can I be out to be a chance as your dear Galamsade. You was off who brown who was a wire bonnet. So,